All right, everyone. Yesterday we looked at the first half of this color blending techniques assignment. Today I'm going to have us look at the second half of it, looking through some of these techniques, and it gets a little bit more into different texturing and different choices that you can make with combining different brushes. So first one, what we're going to look at is soft brush. With this one, we're actually going to go out of the mega pack and we're going to go into the general brushes. You're going to grab one of the soft rounds. And then with this one, sometimes it defaults with the hardness like all the way up to 100. I want you to turn that down to 0. And then the sizing on this one, you can keep it fairly large. And then same thing as when we worked with some of the other ones yesterday. You're going to click I for your eyedropper. You're going to select that color you're blending from. Go back to your brush. And then you're going to look at creating that gradient between those two. And then you're going to repeat for each of those values. My next value, back to my brush. Kind of same thing as yesterday. You're looking at kind of that light, kind of horizontal or like small circular motion, kind of thinking of how you would blend with like charcoal. So kind of blending from one end to the other. And this is a nice one because it'll give you a really nice soft, almost like airbrushed appearance. It's fairly simple. You do have to kind of toggle back and forth between your eyedropper and your brush, but it's one that'll give you that nice soft value with that same method. And then the next technique, the textured brushes. With this one, we're going to move out of the general kind of airbrushed effect. You're going to go back to Megapack. And what I want you to try to find is a brush that has a lot of texture. So I would say kind of look through, you're going to look for ones that instead of being like fairly smooth, shows a lot of like kind of gray within the middle. One I like a lot is the NuPastel. So this one here where you're seeing kind of textured edging as well as what's on the inside. So try to find one that you like. There should be a good few of them in both the drawing pack, the paint pack, ink pack, and there should be some in the FX as well. So once you get that one selected, what you're going to do is you are going to use that textured effect to help you create that transition. This is one where I would probably recommend also turning on your pressure sensitivity if you're having a hard time, or also turning on your opacity. That said, try it out without first, and if it's just not working for you, play with those two settings then. But then same thing, you'll go back to your eyedropper, you're going to go in and start to blend between those two. And this can be a nice technique in the sense where you might not want smooth transitions or blending, where you do want to see some of that drawing texture in between. Can be a nice one to play with, and can be a nice one just as far as incorporating like different texture into your work. Depending on sizing, depending on variance between your different shades, this can be a nice one just as far as getting different effects. So this is a nice one if you do like that more textural appearance. All right, and then moving down, the next one will be the mixer brush. With this one, you're going to be looking for a certain brush type. Um, Essentially, what you're doing is you're going to look for this mixer brush icon, the one with a brush and then a little water droplet. Um, some good ones to pull from. There's a couple nice ones in the drawing box. Usually, they are towards the bottom of these different folders. So you'll be looking for any of these ones with these little water droplets. Um, find one that you like. Once you find one, you're going to select it. Kind of same thing as this last one, I would say keep sizing fairly large. And then as you go through, you'll do kind of that same technique, selecting your original color that you're blending from. And then you're going to look from kind of transitioning from that one color into the other. And the mixer brushes are going to give you a fairly soft appearance. Um, Depending on the one that you select, this can be a nice way where you can get that nice soft transition. Can also be a nice one where you can still get that transition, but also incorporate some different texturing as well too. So play around with this one. There's a lot of different mixer brushes in that mega pack, so I'd say take a look through, see if there's a couple that you would like to use. And these can be good ones to favorite as well, so that you can pull on those as we start to move into this assignment, kind of looking at this value and blending. All right, and then last technique is going to be looking at using at least two or more techniques within the blending application. So looking at any of the ones from this worksheet, getting some practice with those, just kind of thinking in combination. So this could be looking at going in with your smudger and then looking at one of those textural applications. It could be looking at using one of the mixer brushes and then going in and using like your flow. But looking at just those in combination, the kind of best recommendation with this is would say look at brushes that give you that smoother gradient, and then also look at those brushes that are going to give you that more textural application, and how you can use those together to create both nice soft smooth blending, but also get those textured effects that you might want to pull in for your project. And that is it. So when you are done with this worksheet, what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you export this document as a PNG. So you go to File, Export. Quick export as PNG is just fine. You can keep the assignment name as just blending. You'll hit save. And then what you'll do is once that downloads, you're going to go into Schoology. You'll find the assignment turn in and you're going to get it submitted. Kind of same submission method that we used for the coloring book page. But that'll be that last half. I will also post a recap video of the other 4 techniques as well too. So if you're someone that just needs a little bit more clarification from yesterday, would like just a recap on one of those techniques, and you just need a little bit more support on it, I'll have that in Schoology as well. Otherwise, feel free to reach out through email if you're running into any issues. Otherwise, I should be back in class tomorrow. Let me know if you do have any troubleshooting that you need help with then.